Okay, let's call this meeting to order. It's 5 o'clock, Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025, in the Middlesex Town Hall. Welcome to the guests. And so, sir, if you would like to talk, you just raise your hand and state your name for the record. But otherwise, if you don't want to talk, we don't need to know your name. Okay, so we're gonna approve August 26th, 2025, minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from August 26th? Zara moves. Is there a second?
I'll say.
Larry seconds. All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye. Aye. Thank you.
Sustain.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I already did.
Paul sustained because he wasn't here. Abstained, right. Sustained. Yeah, abstained. Sustained. Okay, now we're approving the agenda for September 2nd. With a couple of additions, under other business. We're going to, talk about, actually, since I want to, maybe we'll add Mead Road to the highway report section.
Kevin's supposed to come in too.
Is Kevin coming now? Oh, he is. Was
Said
he
he
gonna?
was.
Oh, he did. Okay, so maybe we won't. If he comes, we will, but if he doesn't come, we'll wait. Bird bombs at the winery. Some people have, so this is under correspondence. People have been asking about the noise. And then potentially, this is probably something we'll put under a different agenda item, but just talk about redoing the codes and standards for the guardrails. That'll have to be probably an agenda item for another meeting, but we'll just touch on that. We can touch on that actually at the road conversation. So that's stuff to add. Is there anything else that needs to get added that doesn't really have an action item? Anyone?
No, we can add to the highway stuff, the signs at the top.
Oh, right, the signs. Yeah, we can talk about what we're seeing on the road. Sandy, you were just mentioning it to him. Some of those white stakes and what's happening with that. Okay, so is there a motion to approve today's agenda with those little additions? Okay, Paul moves. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Alrighty, so we are now on to the highway report for a update from Eric and Zara. So we have Eric's bi-weekly road report that everyone should have a little copy of. And then Eric also included some of the quotes, I think, for the.
That's not quotes, that is the cost analysis on the different repair options for Old.
Oh, wasn't there something about paving something that you
That
get a quote?
as well, that's.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't see a copy of, oh, here it is. Okay, so why don't you take it away, Eric?
Sure.
What else is going on?
So Dexter had sent over, basically a breakdown of the types of repairs that are options for, the Old Road slide. There's 4 options and they have a cost breakdown. His recommendation was for the reinforced slope with stone, which is the least expensive and has simple maintenance. That was his suggestion. If you look at these, they're ranging from 666,000 to 337,000 repair. I would suggest to go with that one as well.
Doesn't FEMA have a say in it too?
Now we just need to get 2 more quotes or whatever.
Well, we need to get it bid out. So.
But they don't have a say in like what they would approve?
No, as long as we have options, we can pick the most financially.
Yeah.
One to do, which I believe that one would be.
Yeah, I swung down there today to get an updated view of how everything looks. I also took the liberty of plugging Dexter, because I didn't want him, just because he took it back, so sorry, Dexter. You know, and really what it is this is essentially an extension of what's already there.
Yep.
But because the road necks down and the brook gets a little bit deeper there, it is a one-on-one, you know, it's closer to a one-on-one slope. For folks who don't or aren't in the business, your typical ditches are like a 2-on-1 slope, so for reference, that's more or less what a 2-on-1 slope is. When we go to a 1-on-1, which is closer to what this would be, that's why Dexter kind of put some terminology in there about, you know, reinforcement and stuff like that. But we're not much steeper than what's there right now. The good thing is I noted that there is ledge on both sides of this erosion, so you actually have a decent place to tie into. The one thing that I noted in his options, he did have about $80,000 in there for a temporary road. But I'll be completely honest, other than taking some land by eminent domain from
I think.
whoever that is right there,
Andy,
Andy, I'm not sure what other choice there is. There's not any other options.
there isn't.
So you can, and again, we'd have to figure that out with Andy, obviously, but no matter what, that's the only means of temporary access, and it's gonna be tight. It's, stuff's gonna have to be scheduled because they're gonna need anybody's gonna need a big excavator to do the work. The impact zone is gonna
And
be
there's
big.
ledge right there.
Ledge,
Not much.
the ledge is there.
So you're saying there's no space for a temporary road? People have to
Very
park their
limited.
cars. or
It's
something.
limited.
Yeah,
It's during the workday, it is gonna be extremely limited travel.
Okay.
After hours,
They can
they can make it work.
okay,
Cause they're gonna have to shelf it down and
Right.
everything, they could put a road there. It's just,
Okay.
when they're working, they're gonna have to probably park on the other side.
But I feel like this number, just based on what I'm looking at, could potentially be a conservative budget number,
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Because again, he's got 80 grand in there for temporary road, which I don't know how it might just be a number to stop.
Could we do this as there?
No, just in general, because again, there's no way of putting a temporary road other than digging into Andy's property.
And I think that's all ledge.
Yeah, you're gonna hit ledge, so.
I
It's,
think what's gonna have to happen is though, people will have to park on the other side during the day.
yeah,
So. no
Unfortunately, the
temporary-
homes are all fairly
Yeah,
close to
sounds
that
like-
area,
Right.
except for the one that's gone during the day, which would be Lee.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be good communication
Yep.
with, you know, property owners there and. You know, letting the contractor of choice know that, hey, at any point, if there's an emergency,
They got
heads up, you
Yeah.
gotta
move out of
stop what you're doing and make way.
does this include Dexter's price too? Was that in here?
It's several different prices that you put on there.
No, I know, but
That's
like
an
this work,
estimate for the cost of the work.
the cost of the
That's
work.
all that is, an estimate.
So and then we get someone to give us a quote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Several people, we need at least 3.
Okay, so do we need a motion to,
My only question was permitting.
We haven't got it yet,
Okay, have we filed though?
but that's a good question, because I've
Okay.
signed all the other ones from Dexter, but not this one.
Okay,
so
We'll-
Dexter's in charge
But
of the
we're gonna
permit?
we're gonna get that permit in hand before we get,
Is that something we need from Dexter, the permit?
well, he applied for all the others.
Okay,
And I did not see, because I was looking through the email today and I did not see one where he had sent to get signed.
okay.
So I have to check in with him in the morning.
Okay,
but we'll wanna basically get an RFP put together
ASAP.
yesterday.
Yes,
Get it out there
Yep.
and get numbers.
yep. Yeah, because it has to be done.
It's gotta get done. Simple as that, yeah.
okay. So,
I don't think we need a motion.
I don't think we
Well, I
need a
just-
motion to that.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that this is our option.
Okay.
Yep.
And I'm glad that you recommend keep us.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's perfect.
Okay,
The second one is the repaving of the bottom of Macala where the asphalt was lifted
Oh,
off
right,
the
yeah.
ground for the flooding. And
Huh.
on Shady Rail at the bottom of Government Hill, from before Government Hill down past the guardrails. And, that would be reclaiming that section and then paving also. I only was able to get one quote, and that's at 58,700.
But we've spoken to FEMA and they gave us this whole scenario, we've done the due diligence.
Yeah, I've got all documentation
Go ahead
that
and
I've
move
gone
forward.
over, I just haven't got any back, so.
Yeah.
We need to get this done too.
Okay.
Their timeline is probably the end of September, first part of October. And it's not a huge area, so it won't take it.
Okay, so we should move, because it's a large price to approve.
And have we already been repaid by this, or did FEMA gave us money for this, did you
I don't
say?
think we've received it yet, but
But it was included, more than this price was included.
yes, it was more money than they gave us for this.
And it's nice because, any extra money we get to keep.
Okay,
Eric, does that pavement stretch over the bridge or is it stop at the
It's
bridge?
going to.
Oh, good.
It does not now, but it's going to.
Yeah, good.
That, I had them include that portion. And putting the apron back on government, road, what used to be there that we lost.
okay,
It's not that, I don't have it here, but I have some, good
Yeah,
news
this
from
is-
FEMA.
okay, yeah.
Okay.
But hold on, let's just make a motion to approve the 58,700 FEMA reimbursable paving at the bottom of the column.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, to approve that, and is there a second?
And I was second.
Okay. So Zara moves and Paul seconds, all those in favor say aye. Aye, okay. The ayes have it, you may proceed.
Okay, one other thing I just want you to be aware of. The Better Roads grant that we received this year for 12,000 something.
Yeah,
Will be that work will be conducted in that same area. We're gonna ditch both sides. Except for where the guardrail is, obviously,
okay.
and replace that cross culvert before they do this. So,
Okay,
anyway, just wanted you to be
and
aware.
did you get the timeline on that, when the paving would happen, October, you said?
End of
End of September,
September.
yeah, we're gonna be working on this section of road. We might start tomorrow, but if not, it'll be next week.
Okay, perfect.
Where's the grant from there? The grant?
Better
For
roads.
Better roads.
It's the state grant, Better Roads, it's called. Okay, Zara, tell us some good news.
So, from the 2023 flooding, we have been waiting on, East Hill Portal and Lower Sunnybrook, payment. I heard today, and this is because of Agency of Natural Resources, we need permits. For the work that was already done for East Hill and Portal, but anyway, FEMA pushed them through even without the permits. They said as long as we have the permits in closeout, we should be fine. So we should have $1 million headed to us. It's like 770,000 for East Hill and 282,000 for Portal. Headed our way in the next couple of weeks. Again, it's gotta go to Christie's desk first, but,
Are you on a first name basis with Christine?
oh, yes.
Are you on speed dial?
I don't call her Christy though. Anyway. That's it, and also we did get another $20,000, for Lower Sunnybrook for the A&E architecture engineering. Again, it's already been done, they're gonna help us pay for what we did.
Okay, great. Alrighty, and then let's just talk briefly about the signs on Center Road. And why don't you talk about it, Zara?
Well, we got an email from somebody letting us know that, somebody from the state was planning on changing the stop sign at Center Road where it meets Brook. So that then we'll have 2 stop signs, one on Brook, one stopping you before you get to Center Road on that downhill. But driving down here, we saw a bunch of other, anytime you see those spokes with the white marks, that's gonna be a sign, whether that's an arrow or a speed sign or what have you, and that Eric looked up, was done 2018 or 2022, something. 2018.
That was-
signed off on.
Started in 2018.
Yeah, it was 17 or 18, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So this is
I
a
remember.
state funded thing through VHB. I don't know what that is, but
And so this is to put like on sharp curves, the arrows and things to make
It's
Center Road
supposed to be
safer.
upgrading all the signs.
Based on the state.
And
study.
adding
And state standards,
Yeah,
my understanding.
so people ask, that's what it is, and we agreed to it
Long time ago.
long ago.
Yeah, cause I think it was 23 when they brought it back up.
Probably, it was probably like COVID stopped it or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure, but
Okay.
I completely forgot about it until.
Yeah.
Bunch of random big city flags poked
Yeah, I
up.
was going, how come no one told me?
Well, I got a
about
bunch of questions. Well, I thought Dirt Tech was done. I'm like, they're done. Well, I think I saw them. I'm like, you didn't, because it would say Dirt Tech on the flag or on the survey state.
Okay, so,
The heck with all these new signs, maybe we'll need so many guardrails.
Will slow people down.
so then also the codes and standards, so we missed out on some money. Related to FEMA, wasn't it? Because we didn't have in our roads, codes and standards. A checkbox that said we would upgrade anything that required a guardrail. To have a guardrail. And so, we made that decision like a long time ago because guardrails cost some money, right? And I think that the question is, do you weigh what you might get in a grant because you have the box checked with what it's gonna cost for future projects that will require a guardrail that we haven't put guardrails in because we don't have to. And so Zara's recommendation is that we consider redoing our codes and standards. And I believe all we really have to do is fill out a new form, but that puts us in a position where for future projects, not for projects that we've already done, but like any kind of repairs, for example, so if we got flooded again, or something happened and we needed to make some repairs and a guardrail was required based on a slope, probably or some sort of drop off thing, that we would have to have that extra cost.
I checked with the state, they said that it would only be required if we were doing new construction.
Oh, new construction, so not repairs.
That is it.
Oh,
No,
fine.
rebuilding of a section.
Okay,
Let me rephrase that.
so,
It's not gonna go to some place where we haven't touched it, but it needs it.
yeah,
They wouldn't make you do that. It's only if you're working in that area.
yeah.
And fixing the road there.
And what, it was like 16,000 that we missed out on, or 14,000, something like
14,000.
that we missed out on because we didn't have that box checked, but there was a reason that we did, not because we were lazy, but because we were like, we weighed like the cost of like, oh, it's expensive to put in
There.
new guardrails, right? And some guardrails went in that we haven't had before, which is great, that happened with FEMA. But I guess this is a future discussion to be thinking about. That we can put, do we want to add this to an agenda and say this is something that we think is important for future grants or for future funding opportunities? That we agree to update our roads and our codes and standards to include guardrails.
Yeah, I'd love to discuss it at another meeting.
Okay.
So I think it's important financially, and I've also heard from members of town, even these big box culverts that went in on the center road. Look like they could probably need to use a guardrail. We have time to hazard mitigate that or whatever.
Okay. All right, so, and I would love feedback from like Eric and you, Paul, as someone who works on roads. As to what that could potentially mean financially for the town, you know, moving forward. I don't know how much a guardrail costs, but I'm guessing it costs a lot of money. How much?
$65 a foot.
Doesn't sound like very much.
$65 a foot doesn't sound like very much.
I don't know.
That's regular.
That's 1,000. Then, yeah, it's a lot. It doesn't take much. Okay.
It grows really fast.
It goes really fast.
16,000 turns into a small number.
Okay.
And like I said, some of these signs might act as rails in some
Right.
places, but yeah, you know, to save lives.
You also gotta consider the slopes, you're gonna need longer poles, and that really doubles it.
Okay.
You know. 'cause
Can you
even
say
by
your name for the record so Carol knows?
My, Bill Price,
It Bill Price, and it's PRYCE.
PREIS,
PREIS, sorry, PREIS, Bill Price.
as even by mine on East Hill, it drops fast,
Okay,
there's nothing to bank it by.
so guardrails are very expensive. In short, guardrails are very expensive and may not. But we'll have it for a future agenda. Okay, so since I have Eric still here and you, Kevin, are you here, Kevin, to talk about the Mead Road?
If I have to.
Well, I have it under I have it under correspondence because they reached out to me. And so anytime anyone reaches out about something, we just sort of mention that they did. So long and short is, I understand, Eric, that Samantha reached out to you a while back to say that she's gonna be putting paint in the road to measure the center of the road or something like that. Okay. And that, then subsequently, Evelyn Prim reached out to me and the board. Paul didn't get it, they didn't realize Randy was not on the board anymore, but I forwarded it to Paul, so he sees it. That, like a little fence, you know, like a little chicken wire kind of fence thing was put up. And they felt that it was within the right of way that we had determined at a visit a year or so ago. I can't remember when it was. And so they asked that Kevin, who's a zoning person, actually measure. And so, I guess I'm asking you, Kevin, if that's something that you feel comfortable doing, or that's
Yeah,
not
so-
your.
This
Come on, how can I
morning,
get this?
Shelley, you're not on mute.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
Kevin.
go
Okay.
ahead.
this morning, Eric and I went down to Mead
Well,
Road.
I'm trying to get myself to show address. I'm trying to get myself to raise my hand. I can't show.
Carol, can you mute her?
Tish wants to talk, but, and I understand you want to talk, Shelley, but I first am gonna have Kevin speak.
Okay, so, as I said, this morning, Eric and I went down to Mead Road to take an initial look, because there was a zoning complaint, and I am required to at least look into it, if it has anything to do with zoning. Our zoning regs in 100 and some pages, one item on fencing. And basically what it reads is section 7.3, A3, as residential entry stairs excluding deck or porch areas, handicap ramps, walkways and fences, or walls no greater than 6 feet in height which do not extend into or obstruct public rights of way or interfere with corner visibility or sight distances for vehicular traffic, provided the structures is not located in the flood hazard area. I can read this to be that if a fence is not obstructing the public right of way, the road itself, that
There's not a problem.
that there wouldn't be an issue. I mean, the other way we could read that is that any fence within the public right of way, within that, within the, what is it, a 3-rod road? No, yeah. Would not be allowed, so.
Is it
It's-
within so the center of the road to, with the class floors, I can't remember what the feet is, for the right of
It's
way.
under 50 feet. They're
from
all-
center to,
whether it's
oh,
class 3 or
so 25 on each end, right?
Yeah.
On each side, okay,
Or 24 feet 8 inches.
Yeah. okay. And so it is technically in the right of way?
The fence itself technically is in the right of way.
Yeah, okay.
So it depends on how we want to enforce this and what decision I end up making.
Okay,
In going down there and observing what was there, I did some rough measurements. But I wasn't ready to write anything down or make
Okay.
any decisions at that point. I also observed that Evelyn and Zach also have a fence of sorts that also appears to be within that, within the public right of way, but not within the travel road.
the travel road, yeah, okay.
Um,
All right, thank you for that information, Kevin. Shelley, what would you like to say?
Sorry, I couldn't figure out my video because I'm in a hotel room. But yes, unfortunately, Kevin hasn't been involved in this whole mess in the last couple of years. When it was decided, when you folks all visited with the problems on Mead Road, and it was determined that, of course, the right of way, because we studied it very deeply, is 24.9 feet. The roadway, according to the road commissioner at the time, was decided with all parties to be 22 feet, even though Notch Road is like 20 feet. And so anything outside 11 feet in each side would be in violation. 11 feet, over 11 feet, the select board at the time did not care what happened to it, regardless, when both lawyers wrote to the select board. And again, poor Kevin hasn't been involved in any of that, so he wouldn't know that. So the roadway itself would be 22 feet, not 24.9. And measuring that was, according to Chase and Chase, as the crow flies, so it's from the pin to the center of the road, which is the 24.9. And when Samantha talked to Eric, they went by that pin that was verified by the Mylar, which is recorded with the town from Chase and Chase. And I went down and actually verified with it to make sure that they were in compliance and over the 11 feet, not under. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of that, because I know the select board's been involved in this from the get-go.
Did you do that in your capacity as lister?
No, I did that as a concerned resident because of what Samantha was going through, and because I had to stop mowing the grass because of stuff being thrown in the grass and wrecked one of the lawnmowers, and I didn't want my tractor to get ruined. So,
Okay, I did not measure where the fence was in relation to the pins. Initially, what we normally do is we estimate where the center of the road is and we measure off of that. Going down there, I said, I did not know that survey had been done and both pins were there. And again, my trip down there was not measure, and it was to measure other than to see if there was a possible violation. If I had decided there's a violation, I'd be going back and doing much more accurate measurements.
So may I ask if during that meeting, the right-of-way setbacks got changed, Eric? Because no matter what, town right-of-way is 24.5 feet from the center line. So can you just help me clarify what?
That was a discussion with, the road commissioner at that time. I was not part of that.
Is that bit?
I don't remember that.
You know, part of the problem with all of this is figuring out where the actual center line is.
Right.
Because with the dirt roads, as we all know, with
They
grading
yeah.
and repairs and whatnot, they do shift somewhat.
Sure.
And actually, in this case, with Samantha having done the survey, we can actually get an accurate center line spot.
Right. That technically they're typically at 24.5 feet on the road.
I mean, I'm really, the only thing that I really determined today was the fact that the fence posts, there's no fence on it yet, it's just posts. They are actually within the town right of way. They're still on her property, but they're within the right of way. They're not in the roadway, they're not impeding the road.
Okay.
It's the same thing with Zach's and Evelyn's, that's and Woodpile.
Well, I mean, Zach and Evelyn's house is in the right way. If you're gonna be technical, their front door is, I mean, it's. Samantha, you have a question or comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up because I know I sent an email, but I just wanted to follow up because I know not everyone has been involved in all of the conversations regarding this. But when I talked with the select board prior, it was determined, so by the prior road commissioner, that the roadway was going to be 22 feet wide. And the select board had asked both parties, myself and my neighbors, to not put anything within those 22 feet. It was made clear that they don't care outside of the 22 feet. So since that time, I have never put anything within the 22 feet. I just haven't. And the posts that I have up now, they're an inch outside of the roadway. So those are not, they might be in the town right of way because that's a total of 49.5. But they're not within the 22-foot roadway, and they're definitely not within the traveled portion either. So I'm still in compliance unless anything has changed that I'm not aware of what everyone talked about and agreed upon. I know you mentioned the road kind of shifting, and this was again something we talked about where I accused the neighbors of shifting the road. So there are survey pins from Chase and Chase. The select board members at the time, I had sent them the email, and I also had Chase and Chase come out and re-certify, like re-verify and survey that portion, and I had them add an additional pin. So these are monuments, and it's on a Mylar that's recorded with the town. So it's very important that these survey pins are not disregarded. The surveyors place those to be, it's 24.9 from the, so 24 feet 9 inches from the center of the road. That's what the surveyor is saying. And there's no other map on file or land record that contradicts that. So that can't be neglected or disregarded.
Yeah, Sam, we're not, no one is contesting that. You know, actually, you've made it much easier for us by having done that.
Yeah, and it's not in the, it's according to the picture, Evelyn says it's in the traveled right of way, but it's not. It's not in
It
the
would
traveled
be
right of way.
within the town's right of way.
It's in the town right of way, but it's not
For
lived in
sure.
the traveled
Yeah,
right of way.
but it's definitely outside of what you guys have done, allowed for a kind of a variance with, because again, it's a dead end road.
Yeah,
It's, other than it being public, it's very much a 2-house driveway. So,
Yeah,
Where we run into trouble is the way the statute, the way the zoning regs are written. They say public right of way, not travel portion of road.
okay.
we
Evelyn
need to
says,
change that?
hold on, Shelley. Evelyn says, as you affirmed during your visit to our property on September 6, 2023, our property line pin is 22.5 feet from the center of the roadway. As you can see in the attached pictures, the fence post at the corner across from our wood pile is 13 feet from the pin, making it only 9.5 feet from the center of the roadway. I don't know.
well, the only accurate way to be able to measure that, as Kevin said, is off of the pins which have been surveyed. That's really because the road, even over the course of one calendar year, can very well move, which we know. So by having those pins, that's the only way to accurately measure where the center of the road is. There's no argument that Sam's pin is at the 24.5. There's no argument where her fence is, but basically they went off of what the
Okay.
board allowed them during the previous road.
So Kevin, does this sound like something that you would go back and remeasure or something?
I can go back and remeasure, but it sounds more like something that I'm gonna say,
It is in the
not,
town.
it's not obstruction.
Did you get this email?
Yes.
Okay,
All-
so I guess I just want to acknowledge that Evelyn's interpretation is different. and I don't understand
Hey,
it
Liz.
myself. Yes,
Hey,
Sharon.
Liz, if you look
Yeah.
at the picture, where, and I think this might be some of the misunderstanding, is because I saw the picture that Evelyn did, and what she's measuring from is a stick that Zach put in the post that he ran over that's going towards the hill. That's probably 2 or 3 feet longer. And she's starting the measurement from there instead of the actual where the pin goes that's in the ground. So it adds on a couple, 2, 3 feet. So that's why she's probably getting 9 feet instead of 11 and a half. If you take a look at the picture.
If you could confirm that, Kevin, with this
Yeah.
email, that would just be helpful for me to understand. Okay.
I have one more thing. So what I heard you say is that if their fence is, the Prims also have a fence that is.
Right,
So it
if-
seems to me that if she wants them to move theirs, she's gonna have to move theirs. And
We're not
really,
gonna ask anyone
everybody
to
should
move a
just
fence.
agree that things
It's on
are
the
the
way.
way they are.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, as a platform road, I'm not gonna spend time wondering if it's in the way, if you believe that it does not obscure people's.
We'll just let the
Yeah.
complainant know that they're.
Yeah. If it's not, I mean, I would appreciate if you would just follow up with that so that I get a little better of an understanding, maybe follow up with an email
That is,
addressing.
that is the plan. Actually,
Yeah.
what I will do is I will
Okay.
follow up with a letter to, Evelyn and Zach
Okay,
and with the result of
Okay.
what my decision is, and
okay.
I will CC the board on that.
That's great. Thank you so much. Okay. Moving on to the next, is there anything else under roads that we need to talk about? No? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Kevin. And let's see, Mitch, are here to talk about naming the subdivision off of Sedan Road, and Mitch gave us some nice fancy E911 viewer.
Yes, you folks approved a driveway permit 6 months ago, maybe a little more, for the road that runs right opposite Simplicity Acres.
Okay,
And George Pierce and his son Sean is here. Sean
okay.
is
Hi.
building the house that's at 136 that you can see on there.
Alrighty, yeah,
This parcel is something like 45, it's more than 45 acres, less than 50. They are longer term proposing to do a subdivision, make several lots. Right now, there's just a single driveway off of this road. State 911 standards say if you have 3 or more addressable structures, you need to make this a named private road. They also said if you are planning to go that way, the select board may name the road now. And Sean had asked, hey, can we get this road named now so I don't change my address later? So
okay,
that's basically the proposal. Sean has proposed a name of the Ravens Hollow Road.
okay,
That's what I'm asking you folks, if you'd be interested in naming. And actually, I made a little edit, the state, when the 911 folks, when they put this road in, they had it coming all the way down to Zedon Road, just below 44. It's very steep at the bottom, it's not going all the way down, it's gonna be a dead end road. It's not gonna be a loop.
gotcha. So it's gonna get access after 116?
It's gonna be accessed right off of where Simplicity Acres is.
Yeah. Okay,
Right.
and he wants to name that Ravens Hollow Road.
Correct.
And what about this down here? Does that also get named Ravens Hollow Road?
Pardon me?
Like this little, where it branches off down
Um,
to the dead end,
Right
does
where
that also
Simplicity
get?
Acres meets.
No, like,
Town Road
like,
and this other road, the road that's right opposite Simplicity Acres will be called Ravens Hollow Road, and that will be the one that goes all the way down to the bottom here. This curvy one, that's just Sean's driveway.
oh, that's just his
That'd be
driveway. Gotcha,
So that is the
gotcha,
proposal
okay.
in
All
a
right,
nutshell.
is there any discussion, board?
Only question I have, Mitch, if it will get subdivided, does the road have to be at a certain degree, like built to a certain degree for width? Any kind of specs for that regarding a subdivision?
I don't think there is a requirement for that, but,
I think there is,
Yeah, they're kind of-
for width.
okay, well, I guess that's.
No, I think there is only because I remember that with our neighbor who had, unless it's changed,
So,
but in the zoning
That's
regs,
one
there was
of the
something
issues with
around,
Having the zoning
Yeah.
administrator rather than me, the
okay,
911 coordinator.
Yep, for sure.
But they did get a driveway permit. They built this road to the standards that the
okay.
road foreman specified, and Sean can actually speak to that.
And it's not gonna be a public road, it's gonna be private, right? Yeah. Yes, Sean.
Yeah,
Yes, and repeat your name, sorry, Sean,
Sean Pierce,
and how do you spell Sean?
SEAN,
And Pierce, how do you spell that?
PIERCE.
Okay, that, SEANPIERC. Okay, go ahead, Sean.
So when we put in, essentially, we've been above board, or trying to be above board about our long-term plan on this from the very beginning. So when we put in the access permit, we had TCE Bowman do engineering for that access, the culvert over a ravine that it goes over. Every intention and every indication was that this was going to be a road, not a driveway. So our tree clearing width, our base, all our culvert sizing, our ditch sizing, everything was considered to be accessed from more than just my wife and I. So we're kind of, we feel that we've done everything we needed, so that is road ready.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Any other questions, board? All right, is there a
I mean,
motion
is
to
there,
approve?
what class road is this?
It's just a private road.
Maintaining it afterwards?
Private.
Private?
You know, like mine, East Culver Drive, and there's extra people, you have to name it for E911 purposes. He's
Okay.
just doing this in advance. Knowing that someday, there will be.
Plus,
one.
it's easier when you own it all.
Right, exactly. You don't have to, no one has to agree with you. All right, so is there a motion to approve Ravens Hollow,
Ravens Hollow Road.
Ravens Hollow Road? As long as there are ravens on it.
Is it apostrophe S, Ravens, or just Ravens? It's Raven
We're not gonna do any punctuation.
possessive, no?
Okay,
The state's E911 system
doesn't like,
does not take special characters into consideration.
okay,
Sometimes people
Ravens
want to
Hollow
put a
Road.
character in and the state says, we're not putting them in our system because it screws things up.
alrighty then, is there a motion?
I would make the motion.
Okay, Paul moves, is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, Larry seconds, all those in favor of Ravens Hollow Road, say aye.
Aye.
Woohoo, congratulations.
Thank you all so much.
You're welcome, thanks Mitch. Okay, so maybe, just maybe we can get out of here earlier, because we don't have Stacy here.
Oh, that's right.
Means that nicely. Susan.
Thank you, Stacy. Okay, so, is there any update, Lowry Sharp, on the town hall, the ability to bear snow weight with any future weatherization?
Yeah, I found the, EIA document
Okay,
about that. And so they had actually, I don't know if they recommended this for the snow load or what, but they recommended sistering all the rafters with 2x10s up there. And then also adding some more structural supports down to the ceiling that is above this drop ceiling. So there's a bunch of lumber to put up there. So if we assume that they were recommending that because of this issue or the
Yeah.
snow load, then we're talking, you know, some thousands of dollars of lumber. And then some number of hours of volunteer work to
nail it.
nail them in. But
Yeah.
that's a kind of a big job.
Yeah, okay,
So you know,
so the recommendation is likely yes,
That we need. the
that we
water
need to, do-
yeah,
that we
for us
need to.
yeah, I mean,
To.
I guess it'd probably be good for somebody to contact the IEA if they're, you know, willing to address why they made that recommendation.
Okay. I
To
can
confirm.
reach out to her. Megan. Okay, and did you have any, you were outside there talking about the base, you wanna share that? Not the base,
So-
but the
Paul and I walked and,
bill.
Bill, also walked around the building and talked about, you know, the feasibility of excavating to put in insulation foam boards all around wherever we could, and all sounded optimistic about doing it, but we want to do some test digging to look at some of the spots to understand whether it's poured concrete or old stone. So that would be a step to do. So I can do some napkin math on what the materials would cost for that. But, so I can do that, but I would guess it's, you know, it's a few thousand too, in terms of materials, not 10,000.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there'd be, you know, there'd be some fuel cost, other costs. Yeah. Because we just want to know what that would add
Yeah,
up to.
yeah, step one, like we discussed, we've got to figure out, there's some voids that we found. We're not sure if the concrete foundation goes all the way down, basically to the same depth as the basement at the moment. If it turns to stone, that kind of becomes a little bit of a different discussion where we lay out after feasibility, kind of go from there.
So did you respond to his email about, or Zara's email about volunteering?
Unfortunately.
Well, you are amazing. So can you put that in the minutes that he may be volunteering his equipment and time,
Expertise.
his time and expertise?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's amazing. It takes a village, a Middlesex village for that matter.
So I think it would be good to also ask BIA, since they considered that part of the project as well, what they, you know, if they have any specific recommendations around, materials, because their document actually got pretty specific about what to put down there, including some, you know, vapor or moisture retarding barriers, that kind of thing. So I'm not the expert on all of those things, wherever if there's pipes coming through, you know, things like that. So it'd be good to have, I don't know if you have that expertise.
The only thing I think I would be concerned about is, you know, the UV rays wreak havoc on foam. So I guess I'd love to know what their recommendation, if it was a foil faced, if it, you know, things like that. I only know that side from my excavation work. So it'd be
Wouldn't the
good.
foam be buried? I do have the files of all the VIA stuff.
Yeah, I found them.
Okay, Sandy.
I wonder if the, EF Wall also did,
Oh, right.
like they did in response to.
Yes, you're right,
gave
they
us
did.
a project and listed
Oh,
everything out there.
Yes,
what
they
were
did.
doing. It's nothing I can understand, but
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Maybe both of those, we could easily, it's easily
Okay.
distinguishable.
All right.
Because a lot of times you've got to face it with something. It's so, even the chickens, my chickens will wreak havoc on foam.
Yeah,
You know,
but it's
stuff.
not buried underneath. It goes
It
up.
is, but
but
it would,
then it
this
goes-
would actually go all the way up to where the lumber starts, the
Gotcha.
lumber side end,
Okay.
to provide insulation. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, the MERP assessment report recommended arching it, which means putting like a stucco or something over it. So I think volunteers could learn to do that too, by trial and error.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's anything that, you know, requires a professional besides the operator of the equipment.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the attic is a little different with all that lumber installation. So that's making me pause a little bit.
Okay.
I can talk to Randy and see what he thinks. You know,
Yeah, you would think Randy would know, just,
well, I mean, just in terms of what the kind of the labor, how many hours, how many people
you know,
getting lumber up there. Yeah, you know, I mean, there it's a nail gun, but, so.
huh.
But those rafters are probably 20 feet long at least.
I would think.
Well, what's above these?
This drop
Tiles,
ceiling,
yeah.
it's that really old, weird kind of ceiling that looks kind of like asbestos.
You can't walk
It's
on
not. No, you can walk up there. There are joists that you can walk on. There's not a floor. There's not a floor up there, no. You'd have to put boards up there to move around.
So you can walk up there, but I'm not.
I'm not walking up there.
How good are you at confined spaces?
I'm not good. Not good.
Together,
Right. Okay, so,
So we'll keep kind of fact finding but you know, again, if
I'll put you on the agenda for next meeting.
We're gonna try to do it this year.
And we should
That was the
probably
goal,
run the
yeah.
thing too. So,
I mean, we
This
have to have a
fall.
heating, well, so. We have to have a heating system.
let's do that all up next.
Yeah, let's do it on the next one.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I'm kind of upping the estimate to, from 20,000 to 25,000 at this point with all this stuff, barring anything else. Plus the heating system.
okay.
It all goes.
Okay, so now while we still have you, possible presentation of website recommendation. There,
Yeah.
you do have one, right?
Yeah, so the committee met today, and, I'll let you weigh in in a second. So we came down to these two vendors, Revise
Are you on the committee, Kate?
and Unibit.
Who's,
Sandy
oh, Sandy is, okay.
and Cheryl weighed in.
Oh, yeah,
Cheryl
sure.
Cheryl attended the demos of these two products. And, you know, we like them both, but we found that the Revise company is a bigger company. They have more track record. They just have more expertise and more support staff. And it looked like an easier product. And I think that was that your impression too? Yeah, so the committee recommends to go with Revise. And their proposal, price was $9,800 to implement. And then it's annually $2,900.
Okay.
And in 4 years, you get a free refresh if you want to redo it.
Howard, can you say those figures again, please? The proposal was.
Yeah, $9,800 upfront for the implementation,
And the annual.
and then $2,900 annual.
Does RB Technologies have anything to say about this or not? They don't,
No, they haven't.
okay. I mean,
This would
I
be
guess,
fully hosted by Revise.
okay, it's totally
Completely
separate from
separate
like our IT.
elsewhere.
Okay.
We need to know.
We should
I
probably
think we
look
should
at
know.
RB.
Yeah.
There would probably, there could be something if RB has helped with like the middlesexvermont.org
Right, that's what.
domain name, then yeah.
Okay. So is there a motion to accept revise?
I'd make the motion to accept revise.
Is there a
Revise?
Revise?
With
Is
a Z.
Oh, REVIZE. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Paul seconds. All those in favor of revise, say ayes.
Aye.
Ayes, the ayes have it. And revise it is. Thank you for all your work and thank you to all the volunteers who contributed. Sandy, you're here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We can't do it without volunteers, people. Alrighty, we're going to skip over the Middlesex purchasing policy. Because Stacy's not here, but we'll keep it on the agenda. And so the other thing is, are there orders? Cheryl, there's a few, yeah, okay. And then, oh, guys, we're gonna get out of here by 6 o'clock. This is gonna be so amazing. Okay, so the only thing we talked about, oh, we haven't talked about the bird bonds, but, so there is the folks who I'm working with on the buyouts for Middlesex also are in charge of reviewing and monitoring past buyout properties to make sure we're in compliance. And so the Rich Road, 28 Rich Road, which was bought out a few years ago, had some campers on it. And I did confirm, I biked down there and confirmed that yes, there were 2 tents. Look, possibly like a family. And some chairs and tracks, tire tracks going in and out. I did not go to knock on their doors. I was advised not to do that, but did you get a chance to?
Yeah, so I called VSP,
Please.
Liz Emmy called VSP, took me 20 minutes to just get to somebody that I could talk to about this. Their first question was, well, did you ask them not to camp there? And I said, well, no, because here's the reason why I didn't go ask them not to camp there. So long story short, they put it on their list, they got my name and number, they'll call me back when they send an officer down.
So I think that this is a situation where we also need to put up the no trespassing signs. So there's a lot of buyouts on that road, right? And so this, in order to sort of make people aware that this isn't a free-for-all. That we need to be putting up, property of Middlesex and no trespassing signs. So,
Where is it only the 28 Rich Road way at the end, not the first? Because there was two dwellings there when I used to plow there way
Yeah.
back when, there were two dwellings. There was one just off of 3 Mile Bridge on the left.
isn't that
And then-
Victoria Collins?
I don't
I
remember.
think that's hers,
So
and
she's still present?
she's in the buyout.
She's currently.
She doesn't live there, but she's in the buyout
She's in the
process.
buyout.
And then the other person was Jen.
Yeah.
Yes, who, her house is like a little further
Yep.
down. And then the tents were further down there. I think Jen owned all the way to the end
Yeah.
of that property, so the tents are. Frankly, they're not doing anything to harm anybody, but they're not allowed to be there, so we.
I think what would be, when this second buyout goes through and that demo happens, the thing to do there would be topsoil seed and mulch the entire road and try and get it to reestablish into.
I
village
get the
status.
feeling though that, because there's a corn patch right next to it. and
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it's the farmer access his cornfield through that.
Could be right, but it is right there.
Okay, yeah,
I
okay.
believe it's right there.
So that's an interesting concept, but what I don't understand is why has Jen's, or maybe that's not Jen's place. Was Jen's place demolished?
See, I don't,
There's a place there that is not demolished.
Carol's saying yes, Jen's place.
Yeah, there was the one down.
Okay, so then that's Victoria Hallahan's property.
that's currently, also they're on Victoria's.
No,
So
I think
here's the
they're
other
on
thing
Jen.
We don't know, we
It
don't
isn't
know.
Jen's anymore, it's ours.
We don't know where the property line necessarily is, so if they're,
They said it's 28 Rich Road, the state. And so I think that house on 28 Rich Road was demolished. What I'm seeing right there must be Hallahan's place that was destroyed in the flood.
Yep.
Okay, and that's in the buyout process, and that's gonna be closing very soon too. And that reminds me that Larry asked about, it sounds like I can virtually sign. The problem is I'm gonna need to like FedEx everything back to them, but frankly, that's probably cheaper than doing mileage reimbursement. So, as long as they're okay with that for all the future ones, I think that's what we should do, is that we should just, they'll ship it to me, I'll sign it and overnight it to them, unless for some reason they just don't like that process. But at least for the first two, that's what's happening, for Larry's and for, the Palmer's.
the walk.
You still have to do the walkthrough, yeah. And,
Is there some sort of checklist that we should have?
yes, and he sent it to me. He said it's not, I don't think it's really an official thing, but he did send it to me and I think he did. The lawyer.
Also, just as an FYI, Ben, who's part of the road crew, did say that he would be willing to do these in the future if needed.
He would do walkthroughs?
Yeah, because he said it's any town employee could do it, right? I mean, he'd get paid his hourly wage,
Yeah.
but. Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Someone's on the, well, right, I mean, at this point, it's a matter of one of us.
Yeah,
Right,
okay.
I mean,
So
But
I'm gonna
agree with
forward
that.
this to you guys. Zara, you have it actually,
Oh, here.
from Seamus page, but I'll forward it to you, Larry. And I'll forward it to you too, Zara.
Thanks.
Before you send the documents, after you sign them, can you make sure you get a copy? of
Yes. So I'm gonna ask him to send it, I mean, I don't know. They have to be notarized, so he should just send them here and then I'll somehow make it here.
this? Or I can just drive them out?
It really is unreal.
Wait, I did the wrong Larry.
Except I
Did Larry-
was worried about contact here this weekend. I was like, I don't want to bother her, but she's sleeping.
That was nice of you, but you could have bothered me. Okay, so Zara, I'm gonna stick to. Gmail, okay, So. Do you think, and the rules for, so this is what I don't know. About private property. Is that I don't know like where that property begins and ends. We must have some sort of.
online those maps.
There must be a map or something, because then you have to do the no trespassing sign every 25 feet or something like that, or 11 feet. And so it's gonna be a lot of work, but I think we have to do that, because that's what they told us with the cabin people, was that we had to. Put no trespassing signs up.
Well, I've got a property boundary map that's basically links you via GPS, so that's easy enough, assuming those property line. It's only gonna be as accurate as that,
Accurate.
right? And
Yeah.
Within.
Okay, so, bye.
Thank you, Lori.
So. Do you guys, I think we kind of have to move on this because of the. And I don't expect any one of us to go knocking on the people's tent doors and saying, unless I see them out, they look like they're a normal family or something.
Yeah, Paul did a pretty good job with the last one.
I know, but I just don't wanna like put anyone at risk. People are volatile right now,
Well,
right?
we need to wait until VSP at least gives me a buzz
Yeah.
back and says,
Yeah.
hey,
But maybe
We'll
they're
a
never
checkup
gonna
in
do
2
it.
weeks
Yeah.
and see
Yeah.
where we're
And
at.
they understand BSP that this is like, now it's a.
I did let them know the whole scenario, hey, this property fell into a FEMA buyout. Part of that, we have to, it gets inspected every so often, it turns out there's folks camping there. And that's when she said, well, did you ask them to?
No, we weren't
I
allowed, no.
didn't.
The state didn't either, they didn't want to, and I don't blame them, they're
Right.
not, we don't know.
And I
So,
mean, it's a flood zone, I mean, it's
Well-
flooded. I don't think I'd want to, I
have you
mean,
seen under the mountain?
Right,
It
I know.
literally looks
I
like
know,
Super
but I don't
Ridge
think I would
campground.
want to.
Oh,
I'm not kidding, have you?
It
seen
does.
no, what?
I'm not joking.
It's
There
You
was,
mean the one by Shaw's?
three campers.
no, right by the Dairy Creek, there was
How did
three,
some-
Oh, no.
Pretty, not very.
not very good looking.
Wait,
They were down,
Yes.
they ran them off from the parking lot, they ran
Okay.
that parking right on Junction Road.
well,
They're
And
under the
then they
bridge
moved
by
over
the
there.
Dairy.
I don't know, okay,
So flood zone or not, but
alrighty.
not right now.
So now let's just quickly touch on the bird bombs at the winery. So Zara, you were getting some complaints, I think we all were, weren't we?
Yeah, so we got a couple of complaints about, the noise on Portal Road, and apparently the winery is using a thing called bird bombs. And I know I saw it even on Nextdoor, people saying that somebody hear like a really loud crack of thunder. So I guess we need to figure out what bird bombs are, we need to talk to the winery, maybe ask them how often it's happening. We don't have any sort of noise ordinance, however, it is a residential neighborhood. So there might be something there.
Well, I think that also just the person who emailed with the concern said they were trying to work it out with the winery, so I think that if that can happen, that's preferable, because the noise ordinance starts to open up a big can of worms for hunters and people who like to target shoot, all that kind of stuff.
Is this happening during business hours?
So, yeah, I guess it's happening during the day, I mean, it's to keep the birds off the,
Great.
somebody mentioned something about there's a blueberry farm as well, and what do they do to keep the birds away? Maybe we could find out what other less noisy.
Northfield. The big one is in Northfield. There's a lady that owns the Golden China Golden and also the restaurant.
Uh-huh.
She has
She's
blueberries.
her husband and her have that orchard.
Well, I'd like to know because they ate all my blueberries.
Was it right?
They ate all my
Oh, yeah,
blueberries.
bear.
They're-
And the deer too.
That's
They
hard,
were
especially
munching.
during business hours, that makes it even a little bit, you know what I mean? Even tougher, if these noises are happening during like a normal business day,
What do you-
that's a, you know.
What happened to netting?
That's too much. This,
So,
Probably square the amount of acreage.
so I think if the neighbors are trying to work it out, we let
Yeah.
them do that and, see where it comes.
yeah. I say that too, and then, if we continue to get people, because I think they want to be good neighbors and there might be ways that they can do that while bonding at the same time. Okay, so is there any other matter that comes before the board?
I just wanted to get clarification, for the RFP. Is it Eric going to work on it?
Yeah, Eric can all help,
Know that.
yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. 'cause it's
I
like
told him
really
if you
with
need,
my
you
mind.
know, you could, well, then maybe if you wanna get involved, we'd love to have you get, if you just need to know names of engineers that we should talk to.
Yeah.
That would be great, cause I told him I'd help him make calls, that's what.
Yeah. My thought would be, since Dexter has done the cost analysis already.
Right,
You've already got a fair amount of legwork to
Yep.
do it with Dexter.
Yep.
But do we have to get pricing for engineering? Do we have to shop that out?
no,
I mean, at this point, we,
that's what the A&Es
Right.
are about, they just kind of give us money to help the engineer figure it out.
yeah,
Yep.
okay,
Luckily,
yeah,
can you imagine?
it's not cheap. Engineering's not cheap.
Alrighty, so if there's no other matter that comes before the board, we shall adjourn this meeting at 6:06 and say hallelujah at the same time. Hallelujah. Alrighty. Alright, but guys, don't forget to sign the order.